Hello, friends. Welcome to Coding Garden with CJ. I will say that it's very possible that I don't sound very good because I have RTX voice on, which is supposed to remove background noise, but it could make me sound like I'm underwater. Let me know if it's okay. The audio is really weird. So here's the thing. There is literally an air conditioner right there. It's like right above my head. So here, I'll disable RTX voice for a second. Test. How I am underwater. Okay, how about now? Check, check, check. I hear it. No. Sounds like I'm on a plane. You all are great. All right, actually, I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Okay, so now there's an air conditioner way over there, but this one, this one is no longer on. How is it better now? Is it like, let me know. It's back to echoey. Well, it should be echoey. That's totally fine. I'm in an undisclosed location where there is potentially echo. Now the plane is cruising. I should get, there's the chat. My internet is not fixed. It was really good with RTX. I thought everyone said it, I sounded like I was underwater. Okay. We're having a great start to today's stream. All right, I'm gonna turn RTX on again. Maybe it will have a better time now that the noise source isn't so close. Thank you, BQ Heath. Thank you for that follow. How's it now? Much better. Okay, cool. All right, everyone. Welcome to Coding Garden with CJ. Thank you for being here. As mentioned, I am in an undisclosed location. The internet is still broken at my home. And I appreciate you for being here with me. Today, we are going to be... I'm going to attempt to answer questions. If you type !Vox in the chat, you can get a link to this website where you can ask questions. And I'll be going through these and answering them to the best of my ability. So that will be fun. Yeah, and I'm not sure what you mean by that, Spike the Fox. Like, do you want to tell people to come watch my show? Is that what you're asking? Or do you want me to advertise at your channel? Oh, and sorry, I totally forgot, like, through all the noise. Thank you Revive New. He's so kind. Thank you. Revive New with the 5 gifted subs. The She Boss with 2 tier 1 gifted subs. Thank you all so much. I appreciate you. I don't know if I deserve it, but I do appreciate you. But yeah, we're gonna be answering questions. And if you DM me on Discord, we can work that out, Spike the Fox. But if you want to post a link to my channel, that's totally fine. I'm not sure what you mean by that. It's like I'm streaming from the 2000s. Yeah, feel free to post a link to my channel. I don't mind. As long as the people coming don't spam, and as long as they're reasonable people, then that's totally fine. And thank you, Don't Break the Rule, for that follow. Also, BQ Heath, thanks again for that follow. Are we missing anything? Yes, thank you for traveling. We have landed. The airplane has landed. You have to be mostly reasonable, I guess. All right, let's say hi to everybody. What's up, Greg? If you'd like to say hi, hello. Thank you very much, SimSim, for the 100 bits. But you can say hi, hello, hey, morning, afternoon, or airplane. If you say airplane, I'll say hi as well. What's up, Christopher? Welcome to the show. And She.Moe, and Coding Pasta, and Lakshman, and Mark, and Ben, and DS Legends, and Andrew Lane, and Majestic Eye. Yeah, I'm sorry for the audio at the beginning. That audio was also being routed through RTX voice, so there's potential that it sounded like it was underwater. Are you trying to break me? Tier 2? Tier 2? Wait. Did I miss that earlier too? Oh my goodness, thank you so much. What do I do? Thank you for Revive Newt with the 5 tier 2 subs. Can we get some pogs in the chat? Also, can we get some hearts in the chat? Because I appreciate you. Thanks for sharing the love. We can do the coding 5 heart. And what else? What other heart we got? We got the C# heart. What else? We got, oh yeah, love. Hype love. Oh yeah, Insta-fluff love. Insta-fluff. Thank you so much, Revive Newt. And thank you for those bits as well to SimSim and Extinct. I appreciate you. Okay, let's keep saying hi. We can do this. Katie Bug, how's it going? And hello, Sivasan, welcome. And hello, Radiated Unicorn. And good morning. Hello, Lakshmi. Will I do a code review? Possibly. Here's the thing. There are 108 questions here that I need to get through. So I'm going to try to focus just on the questions. I'll try that. And hello, Slake. Welcome. Yeah, and the plan is most likely not this weekend, but the weekend after that, we will do code reviews for sure. Yes. Hello, Given to Meow. Welcome. Good morning, Lishibas. How's it going? Yeah, the internet is still out at my house. And hello, FV. Welcome. Hello, Cheyenne. How is this considered music? I apologize, everyone. And hello, Varun. Welcome. Oh, look at all those hearts. That's awesome. And hello, Viewlancer. Welcome to the show. What's up, Nothing As Is, and Koozie, and Johnny, and Same Place Things. Check out Same Place Things. He's a member of our Live Coders team and a moderator on this channel. And a good dude. Check him out. What's up, Kerm? Welcome. And Clink, and Drills. And Melanai, how's it going? New hair. Is it new hair? I thought it was the same. It shouldn't be different, that much different anyways. We can hear the air conditioner better than your voice. Well, hopefully that got fixed. What's up, Drills? And Leica Boom, first hello ever. Well, welcome. Congrats on Leica for saying hello. Thanks for being here. What's up, Maximus? How's it going? Yeah, Same Place Things is our flight attendant for today's flight. Hello, Magnus. Gaming Diamond, how's it going? And Chase Gracias, welcome. And hello, YYC Tizit, welcome. Yes, I mean, here's the thing. If somebody really was trying to sabotage me by taking down my internet, they don't realize how resourceful I am. Because I mentioned this before, but I literally used to set up and tear down all of my streaming equipment every single night because I was streaming in a co-working space and I lived in like a 200 square foot apartment. So come at me. I don't know if anybody was trying to sabotage me. My internet's just broke. But hello, Mark. Welcome. What's up, Impy? And hello, She-Dot. And I would hope that you all would remain reasonable. But yeah. And hello, Johnny. Welcome. And Maple. And Sagu. And Varun, and Ricky, airplane, and Mark. Yeah, plot twist. I'm just streaming for, try to take my internet down while I'm streaming from an airplane. And hello, Sivasan, and the OXD, and Gazija, and 9K. Johan, welcome. What do I think about MDN? I think MDN is a beautiful thing. It's from the Mozilla Foundation. It's a really good resource. And it's kind of like the definitive resource for learning HTML. Well, not for reading about the specifications of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Some of the examples and some of the tutorials could use some work, but pretty much anything you find on MDN you can trust, which I like. Hello, Gaming Diamond. Well, we've the airplane's back on. Hello, Sweebin, and Saver the McGamer, and Abduke. Welcome. Oh, Kiratos says, I was part of the Gitboga raid, and now I'll probably stick with this channel because it's instructive. Well, welcome. Thanks for being here. And hello, Prison Mike. How's it going? And Dave Hall Online, and Essen. And we're finally to the heart emotes. We're about 2 minutes behind on chat. We'll get there. What's up, SP Dean? And Wampa. How's it going? And William Cameron, Hype Train Success, thank you all so much for those supports. Huge shout outs. Revive New with the 5 tier 1 subs, Boss with 2 tier 1 subs, Revive New with 5 more tier 2 subs, SimSim with 100 bits, Extinct Data with 50 bits. Thank you so much. We're here. I appreciate you. And hello, Subin, welcome. Yeah, welcome. Yeah, Revive Newt, bringing all the love. I really appreciate it. Hello, Ben Aaron Dahmer. And Load, welcome. And Mitzik, how's it going? What's up, Trim? I can use this now. Nice, Diogo. Nice. Sup? Yeah. Well, we're almost to the top, so I won't. But next time, I'll think next time. Do a Vox speedrun. I guess that could be cool. Well, I'd have to find all the questions that I can answer pretty quickly. And hello, Aries. Welcome. Can't stay for the entire stream. I'll probably watch the rest via the VOD. No worries. Thanks for being here, FV. Okay. Here we go. Now, I probably missed a lot of chats, and I'm sorry about that if I have. But yes, let's first talk about how do things work around here. And Jellywoot with the tier 1 sub, thank you so much. Paul Hill says, have you taken your carpet or rug? No, I'm at an undisclosed location. But first of all, you can see the garden here. And if you would like a chance to grow your own seedling on this garden, you can play the drop game. Now, there aren't thousands of people here today, so it probably won't break. But if you do !drop followed by me, it will drop your avatar. And if it lands in the garden, you'll grow a seedling. Wait, are you all plotting behind my back? What's happening? Oh, competing for the most gifted subs. Awesome. Oh yeah. My Pixel. Here's the thing. Me and my Pixel home. We're always. I mean, I'm always in my Pixel home, right? Right. Okay. The other thing is you can see in my chat overlay that some people have country flags or like there's that dev icon or the CSS icon, or I'm not sure what this one is, but Revive Newt has that one, and there's the Firefox. But if you want to get that, then there you go. So those are the links for badges. Yeah, so if you do !country followed by your 2-character country code, it'll show your flag in the chat overlay. And then if you click on this link, you can see all the different teams that you can join. Rawr. Hello, Murdoch. What team should I join today? I feel like being on the Creative Commons team. Sounds like fun, right? This kind of looks like copyleft. I'm gonna go with that one, which is like anti-copyright. So, whoa! Thank you very much, Revive Newt. You're gonna kill me with kindness. I don't know what I'm gonna do with all these gifted subs. Well, that's funny, Gazisha. Like Kevin Durant. Well, I don't really follow basketball, but he likes to switch teams. That's funny. Thank you so much, Revive Newt. I really appreciate it. Oh yeah, and I'll show you statuses too. Okay, so if you want to set your team, you can do team followed by the name, and the name should come from that site. So if you do that, hello, you'll get the team, and then your country will show up there, and you can also set your status. So if you do !set status like this, it will appear below your name. I think, unless I've broken everything. Yeah, there we go. So, answering questions. Quota exceeded? Oh, that's very possible. I believe it. And thank you, Varun, for that hydrate. We're drinking yerbas. Drinking yerbas today. It's early morning for me. Oh, it's the same keyboard. It might just echo a little bit differently in this room. All right, quick stretch. I'll fix cdg.sh 2020 to 2020. Does the website literally just say quota exceeded? It's kind of funny. I don't know. It looks like it's working. Just take away my credit card and I'll be So if you're wondering what the team badges are, this link right here, Font Awesome cheat sheet /free/brands, that has the names of all the potential badges that you can use. Okay. All right. So let's just start answering some questions. I missed a reward. What did I miss? Oh, Uberbot. Uber bra. Thank you for that, Hydrate. And I think we got to follow. Yeah, Jake the Programmer, thanks for being here. Let's go. Let's do it. Okay. If you have asked a question, type exclamation mark here in the chat, and your question will bubble up to the top. So I'm trying to just answer questions for people that are actually here, because there are a lot of questions and people potentially are here. So I'll give you a couple of seconds to type exclamation mark here. And in a bit, when we answer another question, those will bubble up to the top as well. Yeah, I'll check Discord really quick. Oh. Somebody might have spammed the URL shortener and then it filled up the database, which is totally fine. Like, a lot of people try to, like, they try to hack me, and then when they can't hack me, they just spam me. And that's fine. I'll just clear the database. And hello, Westlive. Thank you for that posture check. Well, the free tier of the Mongo database we're using only will work with 500 megabytes. Yeah. Yeah, like here's the you can try to be mean to me, but I mean it really only works if it actually affects me, and there is no precious data here. I hate to say it, but there's no precious data on this website. You can bring this website down. I don't really care. I can't just clear the database. It will go burr. Thank you, Cheyenne, for that hydrate. You can. I'm getting all kinds of quotes today. Precious. All right, first question comes from Cheyenne, who says, a silly question. I've never had my own hosting and domain. I use services like now.sh or Heroku to deploy my website. What should I know before deploying my website using my own domain and hosting? What's the difference if I want to just deploy a static website versus a full stack website? Cool. It's a great question. And it really comes down to DNS, domain name servers. Let's talk about that. Not that. This. And thank you, Fizzy Water, for that follow. Okay. From Cheyenne. So this question deals with, like, you have a custom domain, or you want a custom domain, and you want to point it at a website. So for example, the website that's currently broken that we just showed, cdg.sh. Now, this domain, cdg.sh, I purchased on Namecheap. And Namecheap is a place where you can buy domains. Now, Namecheap offers other services as well. They offer hosting and virtual private servers and email and like cPanel and all that stuff. But you also can just buy domains, which is pretty much the only thing I use Namecheap for. So let me make sure I'm understanding this question. Yeah, so you can buy a domain anywhere. Literally anywhere. And I prefer Namecheap. They have really good prices, and I like their management console. But the trick is, wherever you buy your domain, you'll configure your DNS. And DNS is, I think it's domain name server. I think I said that right. But basically what I've done is cdg.sh I purchased on Namecheap. And then inside of my dashboard, I added a DNS entry that says when someone goes to cdg.sh, that should actually point to my deployed server. And my deployed server is on Heroku. If you give me 1 second, in the Pixel House, while I pull up my Heroku dashboard, I'll show you specifically the entry for cdg.sh. Thank you, Root John, for that follow. I appreciate you. Domain name service. What did I say? Did I say something else? It's very possible I said something else. Let's see. Yep. So I'm currently on Heroku. Heroku is a place where you can host websites, databases, all that good stuff. And on this specific project, which is the cdg.sh project, I have added a custom domain. So when I went in to click add domain, I just typed in my domain. I could have bought that domain anywhere. I could have got it on other places. Name.com is an example. But yeah, Mark, if you have a follow-up, you can actually do !comment with the number, and that will appear right below the question. So it'll be nice and in the same spot. So if you comment space 455, that comment will show up right here. Okay, but you can see right here that I have a DNS target. So I say, hey Heroku, this is my domain name, cdg.sh, and then they provide me with this DNS target. And then this DNS target value, I needed to enter into my Namecheap dashboard. So I treat Namecheap as a place where I can buy domains, and then those domains I point anywhere that I'm hosting services. Because I host some things on Heroku, I host some things on Versal, I host some things on AWS Lightsail. These are all different places where you can basically rent server space and put websites on them, but they all have different reasons why I might choose one over the other. But at the end of the day, each one of them has a way for me to tell it, hey, I'm using a specific domain, and they provide me with the thing that I need to enter into the dashboard here. So hopefully that answers your question. Let me know if you have any follow-ups. What should I know before deploying my website using my own domain and hosting? Yeah, really the only thing you need to know is that whatever service you choose, we're back on the airplane, but I don't know if you can hear it, but whatever service you choose, you'll need to make sure that that service provides a dashboard where you can set up your DNS settings. And then you can pretty much buy your domains anywhere you want. What's the difference if I want to just deploy a static website versus a full stack website? In terms of domains, nothing really. Because wherever you host your static site or wherever you host your backend, those services will have a way of setting up a domain. So on Heroku, it's nice and easy. You do it in the dashboard here. For Versal, you can do it from the command line. You just say, well, it used to be now. Actually, if you set up an alias, if you say now alias, and then you type in your custom domain, as long as your DNS is pointed in the right place, Versal will automatically connect up to it. And then with Lightsail, instead of having a DNS, a CNAME like this, you actually set up an alias, which is just an IP address. So on Namecheap, you can say when someone goes to a specific IP address, then all that traffic should be routed to this virtual private server. Oh, Versal's DNS is broken? That's unfortunate. Isn't it cheaper to rent a VPS instead of paying for Heroku? Yeah, it absolutely is. But I will mention, if you want to see me set up these things, I recently did a live stream where I did all of it live, because it's a live stream. But if you check out the video where I made the URL shortener, this one, build and deploy a URL shortener in 3,133.7 seconds. In this video, we don't buy the domain in this video. If you watch the live stream that this is from, you can see where we bought the domain. But in this video, I configure it inside of Namecheap. I configure it on Heroku, and it all gets working within the 50 minutes that this video is. So you can check that out. But yeah, to Andrew's question, which is, isn't it cheaper to rent a VPS? It absolutely is. But for that particular video, I wanted to be able to get everything done like within an hour, and Heroku lets me do that because it's super, super easy to configure everything. Yeah, and so, I mean, you could use Cloudflare as well, and they have ways of setting up your DNS quick and dirty, for sure. But if you want to spend less money, then yeah, configuring a VPS is the way to go. Andy says, could we quickly go through DNS entry types? Yeah, that's a good call. But here's this live stream if you want to check that one out. Yep, check that out. But yeah, let's talk about the different entry types. And here, I'll log into my dashboard so you can see the different types. Oh, and we got some follows. Thank you to Supertoxin for that follow, Brox42, and F Society. Welcome. Hello, friend. Okay. I need my two-factor auth code. Yeah. So if you do want to eventually redeem a code review, I would say wait until that stream to review it. Vroom vroom in the chair. What's up, Burritos? Welcome. Okay, so here we are in the Namecheap dashboard. Like I said, this is my preferred domain provider, but there's a lot of different places to buy domains, and most of them will have a dashboard that looks like this, where you can put in your custom DNS entries. So, and you can see right here that this is a CNAME record. So a CNAME points to a specific top-level domain, and if we look at this actual value, it's like this aerodynamic temple, some random value .herokudns.com. And we saw in the dashboard that they provided that for me. So behind the scenes on Heroku's servers, they've set it up so that when they see a request that was made to cdg.sh, they know that those requests internally should point to this server at this internal ID. And here we set that up. And so that's a CNAME. When you have a DNS entry that's going to be pointing to another, basically a domain, and then you use a CNAME. URL redirect is not a DNS thing. This is just provided by Namecheap, which is pretty cool. But basically, this entry says when someone goes to www.cdg.sh, we should redirect that back to just cdg.sh. And then the other thing I didn't mention is this @ sign. The @ sign means the apex, which is just nothing. So nothing cdg.sh points to Heroku. Now I could set up other subdomains, so like api.cdg.sh. And so if I go in, you can see all of the different types. A record is typically what you would use if you're not using like a platform as a service like Heroku. If it's just a server with an IP address, you would say a record, API, and then put the IP address of that server here. And then whenever someone goes to api.cdg.sh, all of that traffic will then be routed to this specific IP address. Let's see, what else is there? Those are really the main two that I use are a record and CNAME. I don't know what the difference between alias and a record is because I think they work in a very similar way. And text records are something that you might need to set up as well. So text records are typically used to like verify that you actually own a domain. And so typically with Versal, you do have to set up a text record. And the host is usually something like _now, or it used to be. And then the value is like some big long string. And basically their service will do a lookup on this text record. And if the big long string matches, then they know that you have that you own that domain, and they'll actually allow you to send it there. The A record maps a name to one or more IP addresses when the IPs are known and stable. The CNAME record maps a name to another name. The alias record maps a name to another name, but can coexist with other records on that name. Ooh, thank you, Majestic Eye. So to clear this up, an A record maps a name to one or more IP addresses. So we could have done, and actually that comes down to this question here. How do you prefix a DNS with api.mydomainname.com? That's kind of what's happening here. So when I add a record, and I'll say this is an A record for API, because these entries are managing cdg.sh, this is an entry for api.cdg.sh. Quick stretch. Quick stretch. I see. So Doc is saying the main difference is alias can exist at the root, whereas CNAME can't or shouldn't. However, as you can see, I have a CNAME set at the root, so I'm probably doing this wrong, regardless. But what Majestic Eye was saying is the A record maps a name to one or more IP addresses. So that's that, and then I would have some public IP address that points to the server. And then the CNAME maps to another name, right? So behind the scenes, this domain name, which is some big long thing.herokudns.com, behind the scenes of Heroku, that domain needs to resolve to an IP address as well. So internally, that domain then resolves to an IP, but it's kind of like multiple lookups. So when somebody goes to cdg.sh, it responds with, hey, this is the DNS target. And then they need to do a lookup on this DNS target, which then most likely provides an IP address, and then the request eventually makes it to the Heroku instance. But yeah, but it looks like you can have multiple alias records, which is pretty cool. So that way you have like fallbacks. So you can have let's do an alias record here, and then we could add another alias record at API, but that could potentially be a fallback URL, like if the main server ever goes down. So yeah. And thank you, Camping, for that follow. We got quite a few follows. Oh, nice, Burritos. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Yeah, and so people are probably looking at my settings right now, and they're like, what? You have a CNAME at the root? It works for me. I guess technically I should have set this to be an alias instead of a CNAME. But thank you, Avelka, for that follow. And thank you, Control Freak, for that follow as well. Heroku recommends the apex to be a CNAME. Okay. And Samuel the boy, thank you for that posture check. Much appreciated. If Namecheap supports it like Cloudflare, it translates it to the proper record. That makes sense. And Lil Rex, thank you for that follow. Hey, Harrison Pickering, welcome, welcome. Yes, what's up, baby cookie? After how many visits of the deployed site does Heroku ask for payment? It doesn't. So on the free tier, and I can show you that here on Heroku. On the free tier, it's actually totally free, but when your site is not being used, it goes down, in that it just sleeps. And then when someone makes the request to the site, it'll spin back up. And that free, they're called dynos, that free dyno, you get a certain number of hours per day. And if you exceed that number of hours, then the service will not work at all. Whereas if you pay for like a hobby dyno, which is $7 a month, it just literally stays up for the entire month. So it doesn't, if you create a Heroku instance and you choose the free tier, it will never charge you. It will never say, hey, you're about to go over, which is very different from something like AWS, which like for some services they charge by the minute. Heroku is very different. Either it's free or you're paying $7 a month or more, depending on the other things that you choose. I'm not working on it. We're just mainly talking about DNS because there was a question here from Cheyenne about DNS. Yeah. Would you set up front end and back end in different places? Potentially, if they were deployed in two different places, which, like, for example, this one is. So vox.coding.garden is just a static website. And then there's also api.coding.garden, which is the API. And then there's an endpoint, which returns all of the data for Vox. And you can see those are two different domains, right? We have api.coding.garden, and we have vox.coding.garden. However, both of these services, even though they're different, like this is a static website and this is a node.js API, they actually live on the same server. They're just separate from each other. And my DNS entry, I believe I actually have a wildcard entry. So I say any request to coding.garden, regardless of the subdomain, should go to the server that I have set up. So it's just a single entry. And then on that server, I've done further configuration to say when a specific subdomain is requested, route the traffic here versus route the traffic over there. And I do that with Nginx. Good afternoon, Irene. And thank you, Mr. Dev King, for that hydrate. Oh, for sure. Yeah, let's do a dig. So the dig command will show you the DNS entries. So here we're saying use this DNS server. And if you've ever heard of 1.1.1.1 or 8.8.8.8 or 8.8. something, those are DNS servers. 1.1.1.1 was, they say they were the first secure DNS lookup place. And they also have like really fast lookups. And then 8.8.8 is 8.8.8.8 is owned by Google. But they're the server that you make the request to that says, hey, what is cdg.sh, which then returns the other entries. Let's try this. 1.1.1.1. So it's going to use that DNS server to do the lookup. And then trace. So that's going to show us what it takes to get there. It's going to show us how it resolves. So first, the request is what is cdg.sh. That should return that CNAME entry that points to Heroku, and then we need to look up one server found, connection timed out, no servers could be reached. What if I just do it without that? Yeah. I guess I don't see all the info, but ultimately, that domain resolved to this IP address, which is an IP address of some server that's hosted by Heroku. On the free tier, it's free. Yeah, $7 per month for sure. I didn't use Atlas because MLab was free and just integrated with Heroku. Like I mentioned, I just wanted the path of least resistance, like the easiest deploy, everything's integrated. They actually don't. If you pay for the $7 dyno, it will cost you $7 for the month, and it will just be spun up and running all month long. For the pro tiers, they probably have something that is hourly based. I've mainly just used either the hobby dyno or the free dyno. Yeah, it looks like most of their pricing is by month, though. Yep. Oh, that's true. That is another one. That is correct. And so that's technically on Heroku why I'm paying for $7 a month, is because, well, actually, that's not entirely correct. You can set up a custom domain on the free hobby dyno, but if you want to set up SSL, so HTTPS, if you want to set that up, you have to be running on the $7 dyno, which is why I'm paying for that. So yeah, it comes with a cost. People were mentioning it last time, like, you're paying $7 a month for free SSL? Not necessarily. I don't know. I'm paying for the convenience is what I'm paying for. I actually have a relay and an API that require me to set up the backend separate from the front end, so there are instances where it can be required. Yeah, and if you've seen me deploy things on Versal, I typically would do that, where the front end is just its own deployed instance, and then the backend is its own deployed instance, and they both have two different DNS entries. Yeah, you can do it a lot of different ways for sure. Oh, it's a good call, Doc. Set up DNSSEC, which secures your DNS records against attacks like cache poisoning and issuing fake certificates. It's good. Oh, welcome, Lil Rex. That's good to hear that Twitch is potentially recommending me to people. I probably will. My dog is not here. My dog is at home. He was very tired last night. Hello, Mana. Welcome. Oh yeah, 8.8.4.4. That's the other Google one. Yeah, 8.8.8 is owned by Google. That's their DNS server. 1.0.0.1. Oh, is that might be the backup one for the 1.1.1.1. And hello, Julian. Welcome to the show. Thank you, Last Stand, for that follow. Cloudflare has 101 despite 101. What? Oh, they have that domain name? Use 9.9.9. Yeah. It might be NSLookup. I'm not familiar with Windows commands. Is it Cloudflare? It might be. You can actually go to 1.1.1.1 in your browser. Yeah, it is owned by Cloudflare. You're right. Very cool. And this is awkward. Basically, 1.1.1.1 is responding to HTTP requests to present this website. But if you make a DNS lookup to 1.1.1.1, it'll also respond, like on the DNS protocol. Yeah. And hello, Raushma. Welcome. What's up, Voice of Grog? I'm blocking DNS. It's possible. Well, I could open up my network settings, and I could see what is my DNS server set to. It could be something with the configuration of this undisclosed location that I'm at. And hello, Alvi. Welcome. Possibly, Lakshman. I wouldn't be opposed to it, especially if we want to do like a pair coding or something like that. Let's try this. Whoa. Okay, this is what we wanted to see. So if you remember, cdg.sh points to this domain, right? So there's a CNAME entry that says go there. But this CNAME needs to be resolved to an IP address. And we can see that there are actually multiple A records that Heroku has created for that same server that points to all of these different IP addresses. So any request made to one of these IP addresses, if it's coming from the request that is cdg.sh, will respond with that website. Yeah. Is Netlify equally easy to configure? Yes, and people have asked before, like, why I don't use Netlify, mainly because I'm happy with all these other things that I use. But yes, Netlify is potentially just as easy as Versal, if not easier. So yeah. Oh yes, pay for security. I'm 2 minutes behind on chat, so I'm trying to get caught up. Oh, that's a good call. Yeah, so Cloudflare is interesting because they actually allow you to set up SSL without really even needing to configure the server itself, because all of your requests are routed through their proxy, which has SSL set up. And then behind the scenes, those requests are potentially HTTP. But yeah, so you could set it up that way. You could point your DNS, you put your domain on Cloudflare, or point your domain to Cloudflare. Then requests can be routed to Heroku, and they go through that SSL proxy. Yeah, Versal used to be called Zeit, for sure. It really depends. Somebody had asked that question before, but it really, each one has their own merits. Like Heroku requires barely any configuration. It's just ready to go and easy to set up. Versal is really good for static websites. And then if you write your backend in the right way, you can do serverless hosting. And then anything else that requires more custom configuration, I use a virtual private server. And AWS Lightsail is my preferred way of doing that. But there are a ton of different providers for a virtual private server. And the thing about a VPS is you have to configure everything. You have to set up the operating system, you have to set up Nginx. And so it's really different levels of management and configuration is how I choose. Yeah, right now I'm spending $7 a month on Heroku. My monthly AWS bill is probably like $30. I have like 3 or 4 different servers and some S3 buckets. And then Versal is free. Yeah, exactly. Oh, well, thank you, Twitch Lurin. I am highly recommended. How can I call functions between 2 JS scripts? If you ask the question here, I can show you a code example, but there are some other questions that are higher in the queue, so I'll get to those first. What next? Oh, that's it. You just get to be in the garden. You got your name on the screen for a little bit. Oh, there's a dog. Come here, buddy. Buddy, how you doing? Is this Panzer? Can you sit for me? Sit for me. Sit for me. Where are you going? He came to wipe his face on me because he slobbers all over the place. Hello, Happy Jojo. Welcome. Thank you for that posture check. And Phil Rivers, thanks for that follow. Yes. What's up, K Weekfon? Welcome to the show. Yeah, it's early morning for sure. Yes, I mentioned it earlier. You try to stop me. Try to stop me from streaming. And hello, Global Dynamics. Clear the database ASAP. What's up, Mint Jim and Tickle Dev? Cores. We've talked about cores before, but like I mentioned, actually, and I'll show you for those of you that are just joining us, these are the commands that you can run in the chat. ! Ask followed by your question, and it'll pop up on this website. And Addy Dev, thank you for that follow. And ODXS, thank you for that follow. You've been watching for a while without following. I appreciate it, ODXS. Thanks for being here. Yeah, you weren't following. So if you're not following, your messages will appear a slightly different color, and I actually don't see your avatar. And then after you've followed, it takes about 30 minutes before it will start to show up in my overlay. Yeah, there needs to be more CJ for sure. The difference between Lightsail and EC2 is really like less configuration. The Lightsail dashboard is much nicer than the EC2 dashboard, which really isn't even a dashboard. I mean, it kind of is, but it's fairly complex. But Lightsail hides a lot of the implementation details from you, which is why it's potentially cheaper, because you can't do as much, but I'm okay with that. Dog, Panzer. He didn't sit today. He had his television debut last night, and he did really good. He sat, he touched, and he gave me kisses. He was a good dog last night. We need to identify. Pupperade. Yeah, he's a big dog for sure. Yeah, the thing is, I didn't have treats last night, and he still did it. The thing is, Panzer is a sweetheart. You probably wouldn't be scared of him, because he just falls over and lets you pet his belly. Well, I'm not downstairs. Like I mentioned, I'm in an undisclosed location. I'm technically upstairs. Hello, JK Studios. Panzer. Hey. How does my chat look like notifications tab on an iPhone? Oh, I mean, I made this. This is a custom app that I made. And thank you, the same monkey. Thanks for that follow. There should be more CJ. How do companies make money with DNS? Well, typically, like the provider here, you are paying them for the domain, and in turn, they buy an entry with ICANN, which is like the organization that manages, well, not necessarily with ICANN. Domains are a complex beast. We can look up ICANN really quick. I haven't touched Terraform, but I want to. And actually, I want to find it. I want to look at it on Wikipedia. And thank you, Wignesh. Thank you for that follow. Travis CI is for continuous integration. We use it at work. And thank you, Kazgurek. Thank you for that follow. Revive Newt with the gifted sub. Who was it due? Oh, congrats, fool. You got your gifted sub. Thank you, Revive Newt. All right, we're actually caught up. That's good. Okay, throwing one more out there before I have to head to bed. Thank you so much, Revive Newt. Revive Newt with, I guess, 10, 11 gifted subs today, probably more. No, wow. 16. 16 gifted subs. No, 26. No, 21. Regardless, I appreciate you, Revive Newt. You have a wonderful night. Thank you for all the support. And thanks for being here. I appreciate you. Yeah. And congrats, fool. I'm on the mountain coast, which is not a coast at all. Okay, ICANN, the Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Number. This is the corporation that's at the top. They're at the top. And then every top-level domain, like .sh, .com, .garden. I mean, I have the domain coding.garden. Somebody manages the domain, the root level domain server for .garden. So there's an entity that manages each of the top level things, and then you have domain DNS servers and providers that let you buy those domains, which buy entries on any given top level domain. But that's a whole nother topic. We're done. We've talked about this for way too long. Hopefully that helped, Cheyenne. Hopefully that helped with your question. Let me know if there is anything else. Do we have any other comments? Do I need to pay extra for SSL? It depends on the service. If you're deploying on Versal or Now, they provision an SSL certificate for free. On my virtual private server that I have Coding Garden, I used the Let's Encrypt certificate bot and got a Let's Encrypt certificate for free. But on Heroku, they technically use Let's Encrypt, but they only let you do that if you're paying for the dyno. So it depends, but it's absolutely possible to get free SSL. You don't have to pay hundreds of dollars anymore. Cool. Thank you for your question, Cheyenne. Yeah, and thank you, Ahmed, for that hydrate. Cheers. Top-level domain manager sounds like a cool job. And thank you, Sivas, for that posture check. Yeah, it's crazy. Like nowadays, SSL is basically required. Like if you even want to be listed in search results, you pretty much need SSL. But it used to be like SSL was an extra thing. But yeah, nowadays you have to have SSL. They're not charging for a free service. They're charging for convenience. It's basically like they could technically provision SSL certificates for hobby dynos, but then there would be no incentive for people to actually purchase the first tier dynos. I don't know. Heroku's a business. They got to make money somehow. And thank you, Samuel the boy, for that hydrate. I think we already did it, but regardless. Cool, Cheyenne. Thanks for asking your question. Quotable quotes manager. Oh yes, capitalism. I have been in doing software, computers, technology, all that stuff for like over 15 years. Yeah, $480 for a basic non-wildcard SSL certificate. Like, it was crazy how much you would have to pay for an SSL certificate. Yeah, and exactly, it takes time to generate that SSL certificate. So yeah, they might have. I think they might have merged recently or something like that. But yeah, Heroku and Salesforce are definitely related now. And I missed a follow. Ben Newton, thank you for that follow. What else did I miss? Casper, thank you for that hydrate 23 minutes ago. I apologize, I missed it. And Boulder with the stretch. Okay, back to questions. Quotable quotes, thank you, Andrew. We'll do it. And if you have asked a question, type !" here, and your question will bubble up to the top. I want to make sure that I'm answering questions for people that actually are here. And right now the questions are ordered by Twitch subs first. So I'm going to go down to the non-Twitch subs, the first one, and answer that one. In Gaming Diamond, with multiple hydrates, well, here's the thing. We're going to switch. We're going to switch to water. Cheers. Thank you very much. Cool. All right. My community is jealous of your mustache. Oh, don't be jealous. You can grow a mustache too if you can grow a mustache too if you try hard enough. You know, the fact that my mustache is so long is really just a coincidence. Like, I did not know that I was capable of this until I didn't shave for like 3 months, and then I just realized, oh well, there's a bunch of hair here. That's a lot. You're right. It's not that easy. Genetics help. Okay, so this question comes from Given to Meow, who says, in a recent video, I think you mentioned that Vue.js, you prefer not to use the class style component syntax. Can you please remind me why this is your preference? I think also the class style component syntax is like deprecated, but this was in reference to when I was working on Vue.js with TypeScript. So let me see if I can find some info on that. Well, thank you, Spike the Fox. TypeScript. TypeScript support. There's a doggy. Hey, bud. How's it going? Okay, he just stares at me. What? 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 You want to say hi to the people? Come here. Come here. Come here. Get over here. Get over. Here. Can you sit for me? No, he's out. He's out. Okay, we want to look at how to create components with TypeScript. Deprecated, yeah. Class-based components are not deprecated. They're the default, and function components are seen as syntactic sugar. Really? That's good to know, MV. That's a big dog, very big dog. Let's see. Here we go, yeah. So view.extend, or you can use decorators with classes, yeah. He's as obedient as chat, for sure. So I'll just say, like, I prefer this syntax. Like, this reminds me of Angular. I mean, it's not an Angular thing. This is just a TypeScript thing. The idea of decorators, which are basically just a way of like passing your component instance into a function which adds certain properties to it. I don't like that extra syntax. I don't like the top level properties thing. I really just prefer this, because so you can do view.extend, and then it looks very similar to how you're used to without TypeScript. So this is like just enough TypeScript to actually get your type definitions on all of your your data properties and all of your methods and stuff like that. And then this, I think, is overkill. Hello, Slims, and thank you, Horchata. Thank you for that follow. View socket ID extended. I haven't heard of that one. But yeah, that's the main reason I prefer it. Yep. The thing is, like, TypeScript is okay. I mentioned before that I don't prefer it, but when I do have to use it, I don't want there to be a lot of boilerplate. I want it to actually be helpful and not a hindrance. And when you write your components this way, it is. So that's that. Let me know if you have any other clarifying questions. What if I'm billing by the hour? The dog's over here, sorry. No. The thing is, like, sure, it would take more time, but it'd be more frustrating. So, yeah. Nice. Thank you for that question given to Meow. The new style is pretty nice with defined component. Yeah, and I think the other thing is, like with Vue.js 3, which is going to be coming out pretty soon, the composition API will work really well with this view.extend, because this can just have like a top-level property called setup. It'll work similar to even when you're not using TypeScript. The only difference is it's like a few type annotations sprinkled on, whereas this is... And I think that's another reason why I prefer it. This is very different from the traditional writing a Vue.js component, whereas like there's a class and all that good stuff. Yeah. All right. See you, Lakshman. Thanks for dropping by. There is one thing I have not done, which is a posture check. Thank you, YYC. Okay. Let's keep moving. All right. If you're here, type exclamation mark here. I'm going to answer the first sub-question. Do I use a password manager? I do. I actually use one called Universal Password Manager. It is not cloud-based. It is just an app that creates an encrypted file. And then I use various services to sync that encrypted file with things. But they have an Android app and they have like a desktop app too. But I don't really want to trust all my passwords with like a cloud service, so that's why I don't use that. Can I go over Socket.io and Vuex? Yeah, typically, I'll just say really quick, typically whenever I do something with Socket.io and Vue, I don't use an external library. It kind of just works. I'll point you to my Is It New Year's Day repo, which is Vue.js with Socket.io. And while we're talking about it, let's go to isitnewyearsday.com. Yeah, it's a really old app, but it works. It works totally fine. And it is open source too. Yeah. And it is not New Year's Day. But if other people go to this website, you'll see their mouse moving. And that's the socket aspect of it. And if you open up the terminal, you can do actions.set emoji, pass in an emoji, and it'll change your emoji for everyone else. Let's go with the dinosaur, that one. There we go. Nice. Oh, nice. MYKI, I've never heard of that one. The offline password manager and two-factor authenticator. Cool, might have to check it out. Cool. So this website uses WebSockets. Anybody that goes to this website, you can see their mouse moving. If you click, you can see that there are fireworks. And this was built with Vue.js. I did use the composition API, but I'll just show you really quick. If you look at the top level component, so if we look at components, and then we look at landing, landing.vue is the component that actually makes the connection to the socket backend. So it says, we create a socket instance with the API URL, and then that socket instance is just passed down to the components. So that same socket we pass down to the mouse listener, to the client state, to the fireworks, to the console actions. We just pass it down as a prop, and then inside of those components, they can listen for whatever methods that they care about. And you can do a very similar thing if you're trying to get this integrated with Vuex. Basically, instead of defining your socket here, define it in a separate file and then just import it into any file that you need to use, and it should work just fine. All right, that was a freebie. You're supposed to, for those of you joining, you're supposed to do this. Exclamation mark ask followed by a question, and it'll show up here. Thank you, Silver, for that follow. And hello, Percelsior. It's been a few days since I've seen you. Welcome, welcome. What's up, Proxin and Dan? Why don't I self-host Bitwarden? I think maybe I tried that before. Oh, I did try this. I don't know. I think the main thing is, like, I don't even if I was self-hosting it, I wouldn't want it to be in the cloud, because then it could be a target for hackers. But Bitwarden is actually really cool. So if I did want to host it, I would probably use something like that. The emoji changes as long as the tab stays open. Oh yeah, no worries, Percelsior. Thanks for being here. I host my password on Pastebin. Nice. Game nights definitely get a lot less views for sure, but I was surprised that I maintained roughly between like an 80 and 100 viewers last night, which is crazy. All right, if you're here, type exclamation mark here, and I will attempt to answer your question. See if there's any easy ones. What do I think about freedom? It's basically free domains for a year, but it seems free nom. I'll check that out because I've never heard of it. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Crash Course is saying self-host Bitwarden on your home LAN. That way it's not accessible to the internet. Yeah. CJ is... Oh, thank you, Cat and Jack. Heroku has some analytics. Yeah, you can actually see like how many requests are going into your server and stuff like that. It's not that I don't like your question. I just want to give people a chance. I'm going to answer your question next, Blamey. I'm just really curious about this. This will be easy to answer. A name for everyone. Don't fall into the free nom trap. Freenom World is a fast and anonymous public DNS resolver. Thank you, Percelsior, for those 100 bits. Free domain, codinggarden.com. Check availability. Cool. So back in the day, .tk, I used to use, and I think you actually just go to like .tk like that. Does it work? Yeah. And so back in the day, when I was a young lad who didn't have a credit card and I couldn't buy things on the web, I would get free domains at .tk. And you can actually go directly to this website to buy a domain there. It's owned by Freenom? Yes, I was once a young lad. I didn't know that they got bought up. That's interesting. But yeah, I used to use this, and if it's the same surface, it's totally free and totally fine. ML is free. That's interesting. You can do like machine learning. I was never a young lab. Okay, so my initial impression is why not? Like you can, just like I showed earlier with Namecheap, you can get a domain somewhere and you do hosting elsewhere. So as long as they provide the means to set up your DNS entries, I say why not? I say why not? So thank you for that question. Freenom. But let it be known, I don't know anything about them. So you use your best judgment. Mel.ml. Oh, that'd be pretty sweet. Yeah. Will there be any ideas days where I either reject or implement? Yeah. I don't think today, but I definitely like probably the next chill stream will just be let's work on overlays and figure things out. Yeah. Please don't recommend. I'm not recommending it. I'm saying use it at your own risk, but seems like it might work. And Rafal, thank you for that follow. But also, I realize that not everyone has a credit card and not everyone can buy domains. But you can find some really, really cheap domains. So like on Namecheap, if you search for a domain and then go into, you can do $2 or less. Look at that. Wat.best. $3 for the first year. You do want to look at the renewal price because sometimes it's a lot, but yeah, wat.fun. $1.38 for the first year. Oh yeah, and that's another thing. A lot of websites where if you purchase hosting through the website, you can get a .com fairly cheaply as well. Oh, welcome, Sponge. Thanks for being here. All right, let's answer Blamey God's question. And I will admit, I don't know that much about programming on Windows, which is, I mean, I wasn't avoiding the question, but there's a lot of good responses here. So Blamey says, best terminal for Windows. I kind of, oh no, type exclamation mark here, Blamey. And Demula, thank you for that follow. Best terminal for Windows. I need a good one, but Windows is not very good. Yeah, so people in the comments have provided a lot of options. Yeah, and there is Microsoft Terminal, but I will say I don't use Windows for development at all, so like I don't really know much about any of this. I did hear about Microsoft Terminal, which is the new Windows terminal, terminal emulator. And I will say, yeah, I typically use Git Bash on Windows. And Doc is saying the best terminal on Windows is a VM or SSH. Yeah, so in the past, I've used Git Bash. I've used Cygwin, which basically provides all the common Linux commands like ls and cd and make dir. It provides those, and they actually work on Windows. So that's what I've done in the past. And I've also used Commander. Yeah, I'll show Commander really quick because that's the one that I've used. Yeah, the console emulator. So you have options. You have Commander, you have Terminal, which is officially from Microsoft. I will say I've really only used Commander, but again, I don't really work on Windows that much. And then people are also recommending WSL. So WSL is the Windows subsystem for Linux, which basically allows you to run Ubuntu Linux, or do they allow other distributions? Last time I checked, it was Ubuntu, but you can literally run Ubuntu alongside Windows, and then you can have just a straight up bash shell, or a Zis shell that you can customize to your heart's content. Ubuntu Arch Debian or Kali. Oh, that's pretty cool. Nice. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, is it new that those work? Because ls hasn't always worked on Windows. The DOS command is dir, dir, is how you list the files in the directory. But it's possible that they added ls. I don't know. PowerShell has ls. Okay. So yeah, you have options, but I'll say I don't really program on Windows, so I don't really have a recommendation. But there's Windows Terminal, Commander, PowerShell. People are recommending other things, so there's that. Oh yeah, and I've heard of Hyper, and I think Hyper is cross-platform. And thank you, whoa, Nelly, thank you for that follow. Windows bad. PowerShell added aliases for pretty much all OSs. That's nice. Yeah, everyone's saying just use WSL on Windows, and then you just get a bash terminal or a Zish terminal. And then at that point, you got a lot of options. So if you're using bash, I mean, you can look at my dot files. If you do ! dot files in the chat, you can get a link to my bash profile, which is where I have set everything up to make my terminal look like this. But if you look at my bash profile, it's just things that have customized it, and I have some alias as well. If you don't want to go through the trouble of making that, there's also omybash, which is really easy to configure. And you install it, and then you instantly get themes and autocomplete and different stuff available inside of bash. And then there's also omyzish, which is a bit more popular than omybash. Oh, you're a Windows expert. Nice, nice. omyzish. But yeah, if you're using WSL, then you literally get a Linux terminal, and you can configure it to your heart's content. If you're on any Git repo, you can type. Oh, I'll show you. I'll show you. It's really funny, actually. It's not there. Okay, yeah. So if you're in the terminal and you type a beer emoji and then hit enter, it automatically checks out a branch called drunk. But I don't drink anymore, so it's irrelevant. Cool. So there's your answer, Blamey. Use WSL, everyone is saying. Why don't I use, what's that? Privacy respecting meta search engine. CD pub, more beer. You're welcome, Lainey. Thanks for asking. I've literally never heard of this, Andrew. I don't even know what it does. Are you just trying to harvest my IP address? Did you make that website? And thank you, Jolty. Thanks for that follow. And we've got a posture check. Thanks, Historica. All right, if you're here. Oh, it's good? Is legit. Okay. Documentation. I don't even know what this is. A free internet meta search engine which aggregates results from more than 70 search services. Oh, cool. Users are neither tracked nor profiled. I've literally never heard of it. It looks cool. Yeah, I'll look into it. Bookmark. There you go. And Nymph, thank you for that hydrate. I almost dropped my yerba. Linux Boomer on YouTube did a video. That's cool. Thank you for the stretch. It's actually really awesome if it's self-hosted too, because it seems like aggregating results from many different search engines is like against the terms of service. But if you're not hosting it anywhere and you're just running it on your local machine, what can they do? And then that's awesome because you're you can search across all the things. Yeah. All right, so if you're here, type exclamation mark. Oh, if you have asked a question, type exclamation mark here in the chat. Everyone that's here, their questions will bubble up to the top, and then we'll do our best to pick one and answer it. How do you do? I'm doing good, Mint Jim. Thanks for asking. Yerba sub badge win. We could make that the 1 year badge. I think I only have up to nine month badges. Yeah. No updates on partner. I can tell you how many I applied like over 10 days ago. Let's see. How many days ago was May 28th? That's when I applied. Will DuckDuckGo tell me? 19 days. So I applied 19 days ago, and I still haven't heard back. 18 days. Okay. Yeah. So no updates. But there was something. Wago says, "I love the positivity here. This is the best channel I have on while I work." Nice. Appreciate the comment. Thanks for being here. That's why half the chat is here. A mustache badge would be cool, or a like a mustache emote. And thank you, Sally, for that follow. I mean, I technically was denied. I guess I should update that command because I reapplied. Edit command? Cool. Thank you for that. Could be a good sign. Yeah, they're watching. They're in the bushes watching and making sure that I'm partner material. And thank you, Iol. Thank you for that follow. I need to talk to them. Hey, be nice. Okay. Let's see. Any coming collaborations with Coding Train? I haven't planned anything, but I think it'd be fun. The thing is, right now, like with the pandemic, he's extremely busy because he has his kids at home and he's teaching remotely and he's trying to. I think for like a week he tried to do. Well, he didn't try to. He did. He did the late night show. But then all of the protests started happening, and he's been getting involved with that. So he's a really busy person. But I think eventually, yeah, we'll collaborate on something. And thank you, Lynn, for that follow. And, oh, Larson, thank you for the stretch. Whew. Twitch Prime every few minutes. Well, okay, so there are a lot of people watching, and there are potentially, I bet there's one of you watching that has not heard of Twitch Prime, so I'm going to tell you about it. It's a really cool thing. There you go. So if you have an Amazon Prime account, you can link it to Twitch. And if you click this link, it'll tell you whether or not you've linked it. And after you've linked it, you get a free Twitch Prime sub. And you can use it on any of your favorite streamer. There's like and I think it's, well, actually, the Twitch layout changed. I don't know where it is. Is it down there? Wago with the 5 gifted subs. Thank you very much, Wago. I appreciate you. And congrats to everyone that got gifted. Wait, what's Twitch Prime? So click that link. You can see whether or not your account has been linked. And you don't have to use Twitch Prime on me. There are a lot of other streamers that you can use it on, and you link it and then just click. Help me out. Where's the button at? Twitch changed the layout. Yeah, it's true. Some countries don't have Twitch Prime. And thank you very much, Hugo Elefante. Big Elephant. Thank you for the 5 gifted subs. For the mod view, it's on the top. Whoa. Left. I don't know. Thank you, Eliber. Thank you for that follow. Right below my soda can. Okay. Yeah, the new layout. There's the follow button, or not the follow button, the sub button. And thank you for that posture check. Oh, that's unfortunate. I'll tell you something that I learned in the new Twitch layout. Actually, let me make sure that's muted. That's me. Me inside your. Okay, but anyone watching, yeah, it's a pixel soda can. Anyone watching, please tell me, did you realize that you can click this, and then it turns into this layout? Type 1 in the chat if you knew that. Type anything else in the chat if you're like, what? How was I supposed to know that I can click on that and change the layout? Yeah, exactly. Wait, you all knew you could do that? Oh well. This was completely unapparent to me, because if you go to a I do a lot of custom chat stuff, and so when I'm not live, typically I'll just go here, and but when I go here, the chat isn't showing anymore. But if you go to an offline channel and you click this, then you'll actually be able to see the chat. Yeah. Yeah. You click the avatar. I'll show you one more time. So this is like the live layout. Well, actually, no, it defaults to this. But now if I click this, or not, yeah. So now this is that with potentially the chat on the right-hand side. But then if I click this, then it goes to full screen view, and I can like look at videos and stuff like that. Unfit Diplomat with a Twitch Prime sub. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. And there you go. See, somebody knew. So somebody didn't know. Somebody didn't know about Twitch Prime. Oh, thank you, Doc. Thanks for that link. Click your avatar or name. Okay. This is that. Yeah, the mod view is really good. I really like it. Okay, let's go ahead and answer this question from Proxin. When I'm working on a full stack app, do I build the front end first or the back end? It really depends. It really depends. If it's a simple app, I might just build them as not a lot of apps I will build as I go. Whereas like if I need a new backend endpoint, I will create the backend endpoint, and then I'll create the front end which uses that backend endpoint. But at the same time, I probably start with. It's more often that I start with backend, mainly because I need to figure out the data model. So I typically have to like design the database, and that requires me actually creating like a database schema. I don't necessarily have to implement it, but I typically like to approach things data first. And the She-Boss with the gifted sub to Ricky. Thank you very much, the She-Boss. Train. Oh, we got a hype train. Excuse me. And King Nathaniel, thank you for that follow. We got another follow. Dog Bath. Thanks for being here. and Imashari with the hydrate, and Spike the Fox with the gifted sub. Thank you very much. Real Pygon with the bits. Too kind. And thank you, Imashari, for that hydrate. I have to be careful. I'm gonna spit my drink everywhere, but thank you. Nothing as is for the 100 bits. Appreciate you. Frozen Spray, thanks for that hydrate. And Kayleekman, much appreciated. Thank you. Nothing as is with another 100 bits. Trying to make me spit out my drink. And thank you, OJSL, for that follow. Yeah, who was it? Somebody just asked about make a stream in Spanish. So I don't actually speak Spanish, but I mean, I speak very little. If you check out YouTube and search for Coding Garden Español. Here it is. Aprendiendo a hablar y programar en español. So I did a stream with my friend Berto. He's from... Is he from Venezuela or Argentina? I'm sorry, Berto, I forgot. I think he's from Venezuela. He's from Venezuela. But I did a stream with him where we basically... We're both programmers. And he... pretty much, I mean, he speaks English, and he works, he's from Venezuela. Yeah, he's from Venezuela. And he works in English, and he programs in English, and he never learned to code in Spanish. He's always done it in English. And so it was kind of exploratory for him as well in this stream, because we basically made like a running list of like programmer terms and how those translate to Spanish. I think, yeah, so common programming terms. Términos comunes de programación. So declare a variable, declarar una variable, invoke a function, invocar una function. So we made this list of like all the English words to Spanish words. And then we also, I think we started a Twitch dictionary. Oh yeah, hostir. Gracias a hostir. And I don't think we came up with a name for raid. So, yeah, we've done it before. I haven't done it since, but it was actually really fun to, like, for one, I was learning to speak Spanish and attempting to translate all of the programmer terms into Spanish as well. Anybody that speaks Spanish in the chat, how do you say raid? Like Twitch raid in Spanish? I didn't see your bits. What? I'm sorry, Andrew. There was a lot going on Friday. Yeah, thank you, Israela, for that hydrate. It's not technically working. I'm at an undisclosed location. Oh, you have a cheer badge. Nice. Promocionar? Oh, yeah, like promotion. Or to promote someone. Redo. Redada. Redada? Yeah, I mean, anybody that watches... well, actually, we could see how it translates in the Twitch UI. Yeah. All right, see you later, Mark. Thanks for being here. There is not a translation. And Spike the Fox with the gifted sub to Pessimus. Thank you very much. Assalto. That's probably not it. Okay. And I think Andrew's just messing with me. They didn't... Or are you telling me to look at ideas? Stop it. I'm going to do a quick scroll here. These are ideas that have been submitted. I'm trying to answer questions, though. Doing my best. Look at this. The number just keeps going up. It never goes down. No matter how many streams I do, this number just keeps going up. Oh, we could see in Spanish. Maybe they don't translate it at all? Yeah, raids. Raid. The unconjugated verb. Okay. Can we try to do it? Yeah, let's try to do a Vox speed run. What if each person is only allowed one active question or idea? I'm not opposed to that, Doc. Can you submit that as an idea so we don't lose it? Yeah, you ask one question, and then once that question has been answered, you can ask another question. I like that. Yeah, it's not translated. That makes sense. Nothing as is with 100 bits. What's up, Milky Dev? How's it going? Shout out, P-Dev. Heck train success. Great work, everyone. Thank you. 9 subs, 400 bits. Oh, you're too kind. Yeah, check out Monkey Dev. He's a pretty chill stream. He's doing React stuff. Choo choo. Wait, did I? Oh, I collected all the level 2 emotes. I'm not getting any new emotes. That's unfortunate. All right, I'm gonna attempt to do. Yeah, you're welcome, Melky. Fist bump. I'm gonna attempt to do a speed run. I don't know how this is gonna go, but I'm just gonna scroll and I'm gonna answer things. Let's set a timer. I mean, not a timer. We're gonna set a stopwatch. And just, we won't do this for too long. All right. Okay, Easy has a good question. How do I fix the pipe symbol on my theme? So I'll tell you real quick. I'm using the VS Code theme called Just Black, which is this one. But the thing that a lot of people don't like about it is that when you do the or symbol or the pipe symbol, I'll show you real quick with JavaScript. So I have fixed it so that when I do the or symbol, the or is not in italics. And I'll show you how I did that. If I go into my my preferences, my JSON settings file, there's a section called token color customizations, I believe. And then under the scope for, and thank you, Shines Love, for that gifted sub, much appreciated. But under the scope for logical operators, arithmetic operators, assignment operators, and bitwise operators, I turn the font style off. So actually, if I don't know if, let's do this. I'm gonna remove it. And you'll see that the or shows up as italics, which makes it look like a comment, which is not nice. So this is basically how I fixed it. I will update my VS Code settings on GitHub to include this, but that's basically how I fixed it. And then the other thing I changed was the comment color, because by default the comments were like illegible, or just like a really not a very nice gray color. So now with that, it's a nice pink color. So basically, I changed it in my settings, and I will update. Yes, it was 3 weeks ago, but technically they're here. Say hi in the chat, Easy. I mean, Easy had to say exclamation mark here for this question to bubble up. Yeah, Easy's here, right? Yeah, they're here, cool. But on GitHub, I have my VS Code settings, and I will update this section down here, because I think this is missing. Let's see. Oh, no, it's actually in there. And thank you, Shines Love, another gifted sub, to Zrelia. Awesome. But actually, this will technically work. Now, I actually have it as separate rules for some reason on my settings that are posted here. But you can see the scope, logical, no font style. The scope, wait, this is just bad. I need to fix this. But if you go to this repo right now, you can get an example of what you need to add in. I'll just throw this in a gist really quick. Actually, why not just literally update this? I'm gonna update this page right now. Yeah, the theme's called Just Black. Yeah, there's the link. I'm literally just going to edit this file. Here. Git push? Oh no, we're editing it on GitHub. Easy peasy. Cool. Yeah, there are some issues with it, and the main thing being like the or looked like a, the or looked like a comment, but if you add this modification, it'll make it look nicer. Okay, so if you go to that GitHub repo, you'll get my latest settings that you can use. Great. All right, that took us 4 minutes. Eliber, thank you for that hydrate. The She-Boss has a question. Realistically, do you believe that if anyone who works hard can become a successful developer, even if it doesn't come as naturally to them as others? Ricky says, yes. I only ask because I totally recognize that not everyone can do everything. Like, I can't be a surgeon because I hate the sight of blood. Ricky says, I can answer this question because I'm proof that you can do it. I picked up coding 3 years ago, and now I'm about to launch my software as a service app. Yeah, I think it's tricky, and a lot of people have touched on this subject. I think one aspect of being a developer, or being a programmer, is persistence. Like, it's really hard to become a programmer, to be a developer, if you are not persistent. So, for one, if you are persistent, so, and Final Edge says, I worked my butt off to get here. Yeah, like, if you're persistent, if you work really hard, if you really, really want it, I think so. I think like, if you're going to try your hardest to do it, then it's definitely possible. Now, there's another aspect of this question that, like, are there inherently people that, like, can't become programmers, or, like, can't think logically? And I don't even know if I think that's the case. Like, I think you potentially have to start in a different place for somebody that is so far removed from even anything technical. But it's potentially possible, because you can teach mathematical thinking, you can teach critical thinking and logical thinking, and all of those, I think, are precursors for actually being a developer or a programmer. Now, like I mentioned, it takes work. Yeah, so it's not difficult to be a programmer, but it takes more to be a good programmer. Yeah, and I'll link that video, because a lot of people ask this, and Brad has said it in probably better words than I can say right now on the spot. Yeah, check out Traversy Media. It's a pretty recent video, maybe like a couple weeks ago. But I don't know, I personally have taught in person, like, over 100 students. Granted, those students did have to come through an application process, and they had to prove that they actually liked programming and they could do some, like, basic JavaScript before being accepted into the program. But I mean, the success rate for those students was huge, in terms of actually, like, getting a job in the real world. But I will say, like, a lot of students definitely struggled. Like, it wasn't easy as cake for everyone. But I will say, for the students that struggled, they often end up doing a lot better than for the students that it came easily to. Because for the students where it comes easy to them, they never really learned how to work hard, or how to be persistent, or really even, like, how to study. But the students that had trouble and had to really put the work in, they learned early on that you had to do that. And in the end, it made them a better developer overall. Because one of the biggest things about being a programmer or developer is learning how to learn. Like, you don't just learn JavaScript and then you're done and you get a job. Like, JavaScript is constantly changing. The libraries and frameworks you use are constantly changing. So you have to know how to learn things rather than just knowing the thing itself. Yeah. I'll link Brad's video, because other people can check it out too. What was it called? Okay, I'll check that out, Doc. Yay, I'm the one who didn't need to learn, and now I have no idea how to learn. That's unfortunate. Yeah. If you're a good Googler, you can learn to code. Yeah. And that's the thing, is you can get good at Googling. Like, when I was teaching, my students were just amazed at how much better my search results were than theirs, because, like, they'd ask me for help and I'd be like, well, I don't know, let's search the web. And then I'd have the perfectly crafted search term where, like, the answer to their question is, like, in the top 3, and they're like, how did you do that? But it just comes with practice, like, practice Googling as well. Does anyone know what this video is called? Okay, it's right to the left of the second or third row. Who can or can't be... Oh, there it is. I saw, like, Python in it, and I was like, oh, there must be a Python video. Here it is. Make a Google tutorial or Riot. The thing is, it's hard. Like, I would really have to think about it a lot to, like, deduce what is it that makes my web searches so good. I mean, I'm kind of bragging right now, but I'm really good at finding things on the web. It's definitely a skill, like, understanding that, like for someone that's totally new to all of this, they're probably used to like typing an entire full question into Google, right? And if you want good results, you don't do that. Yeah, so like you pick and choose the right words, and I will say the order of the words typically matters as well. So like in this case, I would actually put the word Python first because I want my searches to be relevant to Python rather than other programming languages. Verbatim mode. I've never heard of verbatim mode. Yeah. Yeah, you definitely want to try to understand the code. I maintain that Google is the most valuable skill in software development. Well, it's really searching for the right answer, right? Not necessarily Googling. You can use other things, but yeah. Concise and efficient searches. Yeah, people are really bad at Google. King Von Dard says, put solid 5 hours per day for at least a year and then it becomes easy. I think that's the thing. If you really want it and you really put in work, I think it's achievable. But it doesn't come naturally to everyone. Like for me, it actually came pretty, did it? I don't know. I've always been a critical thinker and like a logical mind. And the thing about programming is, it's logical, right? Like you literally write code that will do exactly what you tell it to do. And if you're not used to thinking in that way, like if your thought processes are a little more cloudy and that like you kind of just expect things to happen versus thinking them exactly through, it's a lot harder to take that next step of turning your thoughts into code. And RLF Mabushru, thank you for that follow. Okay. Yeah, it's true. And hello, Terminal Dash. It's been a while since I've seen you in the chat, but DuckDuckGo doesn't have the best results. And that's pretty much what I do as well, is I'll look on maybe the first page, second page. If I don't find it on DuckDuckGo, I'll jump out to Google, which is unfortunate, but yeah. All right. The hard thing was never the code itself. It's all the technology and buzzwords. Yeah, and that's another skill in and of itself, is like understanding what people are even talking about. And what also makes it hard as a beginner, because it's hard to Google things that you don't even know, like you don't even know what you're trying to search for. I don't know. Yeah, Andrew is one of those rare programmers. All right, we're technically in, this was supposed to be a speed run. Let's keep going. How hard is it to learn Angular? Any tutorials? Angular docs, yeah, so Gazija is an Angular developer, so they're recommending Angular docs, John Schmidtman on Udemy, or Deborah. Or Jonas Schmetman. I'll say anything's learnable. Angular has a lot of prerequisites, though. So Angular, you have to know about TypeScript, and you probably need to know about ES 2015 and in some of the more later and more recent features in JavaScript. And then there are other concepts like dependency injection, and services, and the idea of singletons. There are a lot of underlying concepts that you need to know to learn Angular itself. So keep that in mind, but it's possible. I don't really have any recommendations. I don't do much Angular. Yeah, I used to do this. We need to do it again. If you go to coding.garden/videos, we used to do a thing called Newbie Tuesday, was the original incarnation. Is that the right word? The initial version of this, where I would pair with a complete and total noob who knew nothing about programming, and we would build things. Then that turned into Noob Quest, where we did some things. We also implemented auth from scratch, which we've got a lot of praise and a lot of hate for it, because people are like, you shouldn't implement auth from scratch, but that wasn't the point. The point was to teach about the underlying concepts. Of course, you should use like a service for that behind the scenes. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure, Johnny Drama. Check out Fireship. Fireship on YouTube. I know he has a lot. He's an Angular person. No more Angular talk, please. Fireship.io, for sure. Yeah, check him out. For one, his videos are amazingly put together and amazingly edited. And then he does have tutorials on like Firebase and just straight up tutorials on Angular as well. The sound might be weird. Someone let me know if they are. All right, let's keep going. Let's go down to the non-sub questions. Joe John says, what's the right way to do CSS animations in React? Earlier, I was trying to make something fade in and continue in and out continuously by doing classless add or remove. It only worked on the first update. I ended up just setting the animation to occur 1,000 times. Should I be using React Transition Group? I am in a big empty room. WebStorm or VS Code? I prefer VS Code, mainly because you have to actually pay for WebStorm, I'm pretty sure. And then Andrew prefers Babby. I'll answer this question from Pure Lol. I've been using Insomnia, and I like it. It works perfectly fine. What is this? Oh yeah, I was looking at the ChillHop API. Don't look at that. But it works nicely. I like Insomnia, and I kind of actually like don't like Postman anymore, mainly because they require you to log in. And there's been some times where it logged me out, and then I lost all of my open tabs, which is ridiculous. So yeah, Insomnia is cool. And thank you for that posture check. There's a few other redemptions as well. Let's check it out. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you for the posture check as well. Wait, did I lose it? No, I thought we... Oh, maybe it was asked twice. Postman trauma, yeah. What question was I just looking at? The React Animations one, right? Yeah, here it is. So, I've been live for almost 2 hours. I kind of need to end the stream and go to work. I've tried Postman, and it's pretty sweet, but it only works inside of the browser, and you can't do like localhost testing because it like goes through a proxy. So I prefer something that's like a standalone application that doesn't have like CORS restrictions. Yep. Well, no, we've gone down a little bit. It was at 131. We're down to 129. Now, here's what I want to do. I want to write some code because we haven't really written any code today. So can anyone, if anyone's looking at this web page right now, can you suggest one question? Tell me the number in the chat. One question for something that I can actually implement really quick. No code. CSP3, thank you for that follow. 528. Take a look. And Spearfox, thank you for the hydrate. And it has to be something that I can code in like 15, 20 minutes. Snap half of the questions. 528, 666, 518. All right. I tried feathers, but I can't get the hang of it. That's too much. I'm gonna archive this, but Andrew, let it be known that pretty soon. Actually, it'd be fun to do a pair stream. You want to pair? You want to pair sometime? I can teach you feathers. Let me know. DM me. But not today. Okay, number 447. Add a delete feature where only the person who submitted the original question can delete it if they no longer want to ask it. I'm not opposed to that. And that would be actual coding on this website. Yeah. All right, what's 518? Actually, let's not forget this. So there's potentially 447, 518, 6666. Hopefully that's not a joke. 518, we have that one. 228. I would also like to see that. I've been wrapping my head around it. The animations one? Or which one? Oh, feathers. Feathers? 325. Thank you, Lundazy. Thank you for that follow. 447, 236. Okay, yeah, no, where's the B-Spit? We might not, I don't know if our numbers are that high yet. Use the Twitter API to get the list and post the list. 242. I mean, everyone's probably just putting their idea in, but what I'm saying is be realistic. What can I do in 15 minutes? Infinity. 484. Okay, let's just implement that. I think that's fine. I think I'm going to implement that. Type 1 in the chat if you want to see me do this. Basically, we're gonna update this website so that anybody can type exclamation mark something, and it will remove their question from this website. I could take a look at the others, but I'm on a time crunch. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. And the place that I'm actually going to implement this is in the API. I won't have to touch the front end at all. So let's get that going. Let me hide my screen for just a second. Welcome to Pixelland. Where's the chat? Chat, there's the chat. Do mods get a magical wand? Not today, but eventually. Eventually. Oh, you're right. I need to update the list of commands for sure. All right. That magical feathers. Okay, so this is the code base for the API that powers Vox and the API that powers this thing over here. For sure. CJ 2020. So it's an API that powers quite a few things, what we need to look at the chat service, because the chat service is the thing that's listening for all of the Twitch chats that are coming in. And thank you, Giopedo Ronada. Welcome. Welcome. Yeah, so this is a Feathers backend. And you can look at the chat service. It's a little messy. I will admit, it's messy. But there's some code in here. So whenever this service spins up, I have a function behind the scenes that's using TMI.js to listen to all of the incoming Twitch messages. And then we have some service methods. So we can find all of the messages, because the messages get inserted into a Mongo database so that I can do a filtering and we can actually show all of the questions even from a few weeks ago. So that's there. We can remove questions, we can patch them. When a question gets created, we check to see if it is an idea, a question, or a submission. And then if it is, we increment the question counter and then put the question number onto that question before it goes into the database. Now, what we need to do is also take a look at if there is a... hello, Eric, from Brazil. Welcome. We also need to see if there's a command that is, let's call it archive. So like if message.message.match. And actually, I don't know if I want to listen for that in here. Maybe I do. Because I'll show you there are actually two services. So there's the chat service, which manages all of the Twitch chats, but then there's also the Vox Populi service, which does a business of actually getting those messages and organizing them by questions, ideas, submissions, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, this is like the code that literally goes through a bunch of questions and then organizes them so that the front end can take a look at them. And this is listening for when yeah, so it creates the message here. And that way we know when a new question has been asked. And technically, whenever I click the X button, this is the function that gets called. But this requires an API key, because as you can see, when I'm on the website, I can archive any question. And we don't want just any user to be able to do that, because I mean, then they could archive other people's questions. But if we allow them to do it through chat, we can then verify if the question with that number has their user ID, then we'll actually allow it to be archived. And technically, we can do really just this. Update archive to be true. So we need that code. But I think I'm going to do it inside the chat service. And for the sake of time, it's going to be messy. We're just going to get it done. And a Coleman, thank you for that follow. And non-skills, thank you for that follow. Add a simple check on create if the number of users' existing questions. I think we'll add that too. That should be easy enough. And thank you, Legion Dark Sun, for that follow. Did I answer my question? How do I handle command delay? I didn't answer that one. No. Okay, so in Twitch chat, when a message gets created, we first want to see if message.message.matches the regular expression with. I'm going to go with archive. Message.message, yes. Yes, there's a message property on the message. How do I earn money with code? I have a full-time job. I'm a software consultant. I think I want word bound too, huh? Theta Storm with the Twitch Prime sub. Thank you very much. And thank you, Bishop of Fire. Thank you for that stretch. Message.message.message. Is on Twitch chat another emote than in your... So there's some emotes that are from Better Twitch TV. Would it be controversial if all questions just disappeared after a week? Maybe. I could also, if a person hasn't been here for like 2 weeks, then we could archive the question or something like that too. Thank you for that, Hydrate. Here's the thing. This is coming from TMI.js, and it literally has a property called message, which is why I'm using that. I'm not in control of that. I could have renamed it, but then that's just extra properties. Yeah, I don't think we'll do auto-delete. I think this is what I want, like archive, followed by a word boundary, followed by a number. Potentially you can, this is optional, followed by one or more digit. Is this, I drink water. Is this the right regular expression? So this will be archive 42 or archive number 42. Andrew says yes. I should probably test it. It seems right. Seems right, right? Yeah, let's say it's right. So first thing we need to do is we need to look up the question that has that specific number. So let's do this. We'll say message.message, the num is equal to message.message. And I think we can just extract it. I'm currently the most watched live code. Interesting. I'm in the just chatting category though, instead of science and technology, but I think that's okay. I should save the result of the match. Yeah, you're right, because then I can use it. Yeah, that makes sense, Drills, because I technically want a single space followed by the number, which is optional, followed by any number of digits. And then because this is in parentheses, that'll be the matched group. Then the number is going to be one or more space? Sure. Yeah, that's fine. And then this will be archive question at 1, I think, right? Let's just test this out in the browser really quick. So if we, for instance, have a message that is archive 42, and we run this against it, index 1 is going to be the number itself. I prefer exec than match. That's the reverse, though. You do regular expression.exec, right? And if you do number 42, we still get 42. That's good. And if I do archive with a bunch of spaces, we still get 42. Okay, so Good enough. And we can close that timer. So number is there. We then need to look up the question with that number, and then we're going to confirm that the user ID on that question matches the user ID here. And if it does, we'll delete the question. Question is twitchchats.find, where the num is equal to that. And this should be find1. Find one Twitch chat where the number is equal to that specific number. And I'm just going to double check that num is a number or a string. Oh, number is actually a number. So I need to, because this is how the data looks inside of my database. And so num will have that. So before I do the lookup, I want to convert it to a number. That way it will actually match. And Cyberabora, thank you for that follow. Yep, yeah, if you go to, there's a repo called API on the Coding Garden GitHub. You can see all this code there. All right, find one where that is the number. We should have it. And then, we actually should do, we can look up where the user ID is the same thing. Yeah, archive 99999. So user ID is message.user ID. So this will say, make sure, so find one where the number is that and the user ID is this one that has looked it up. However, no, but we can make it so that mods can archive things as well. Yeah, I saw that, the master branch. That's going to break a lot of scripts. But yeah, okay, let's just do the lookup. Okay, so then we'll say if we found it, and message dot, no, and then we also looked up the user. So I could say user, no, message dot badges dot moderator, or mod. So if you're a moderator, or a broadcaster, this is not a real app. Check that it's not already archived and deleted. Oh, you're right. So we should say where archived is false. Right, so if we actually found the question, and if the user that sent this message or that just tried to archive it is a moderator or a broadcaster, or the question.user ID is equal to message.user ID. So you can only delete your question that you asked. Will I back up my database before running this? No, mainly because if the data's gone, then I just don't have to answer those questions, right? Do I trust my code to not delete everything? So I'll actually run this locally because I can run it against a local database to make sure that it actually works there. And then I'll deploy it if I can make sure that it runs locally. But that's basically how I'm going to test it. In the real world, yes, I would make sure. Back up the database. I would, of course, run it locally, make sure everything works, but this is not mission critical data. Where deleted at is null. Do I need that? Okay. I'll do that. I don't know if there's a mod flag. Smart. Thank you, Yeet. Thank you for that follow. Genius. I mean, it's you can't fake the badges. These are coming directly from Twitch IRC. So yeah, badges.moderator. If that's there, you're a moderator. And badges dot broadcaster. Well, I haven't sent any messages here. Yeah, this is not the real world. Yeah, you should do this. And thank you, thank you for that follow. Do as I say, not as I do. This will allow archiving questions with comments as well. Yeah, it technically will. I'm not going to allow you to archive comments, at least right now, because that gets a little trickier. How can I become a broadcaster? Stream on Twitch. Anybody can. All right, so if we found the question in the database where wait, deleted at technically won't be null. I'm not worried about this, because we'd have to do a different query, because like deleted at is technically undefined. There's user type mod. I think that's broken. I think this is technically deprecated. I don't know if Alka's watching, but I have this feeling, and I think I read or heard somewhere, that this particular property does not work. Yeah. Oh well, regardless, we're almost done. Yeah, if other people's comments are attached to it, archiving the question, the comments only show up if the question is not archived. So for now, it's fine. Yeah, it's possible, but just don't archive deleted questions, right? Yeah, it would be possible to, yeah. Stop poking holes. I need to go. Hello, Wolfie. Welcome. And hello, I am. I'm writing code. We're working on my Vox website. You technically could add comments to archive questions. Yeah. All right. Don't. Yeah. Just don't do that. I got a feeling. It's up, Acid Spark. Do we care if someone archives a deleted question? I don't. I really don't. I forgot to bring the Panzer webcam. Okay, if this is the case, then we're going to copy paste some code that sets archive to true. Why is this complaining? Oh, cap pasta. What's up, Bob? Thank you for those emotes. Yeah, so ID is going to be question dot underscore ID, like that. Yeah, it's all GitHub. Yeah, I'll have to push there in a second, so I'll show it. And actually, no, I don't need to do that. What I want to do, instead of deleting it directly from the database, is I want to call this service method, because when this service method gets called, that's the thing that's going to emit the event to everyone that says, hey, this was archived. So I technically can want to call remove with that ID with the Vox Populi service. Like this. Calling a service from a service. So go to the Vox Populi service, call remove, and then pass in question.id. Like that. Cool. Is this going to work first try? What do you all think? All right, if you give me just a second, I'm going to do some local testing on a different Twitch chat. Thank you, Dodo. And Smiley, thanks for that host. First try. It's going to work first try. I'm not testing it. I'm updating my environment variables, and then we'll test it. All right. cool. Do you all know where I'm testing it? Because I think somebody just sent a message. You all know where I'm testing it, don't you? Well, not you all, but some of you know. Cool. So this is actually coming from the Coding Garden with CJ channel instead of the Coding Garden channel. So you go to twitch.tv/Coding Garden with CJ/chat. Hi. Yeah, so messages are showing up here. And so, yeah, so Andrew just did ask. And we can see, wait. Yeah, so this got detected as a question, and the number is 1. And so, Andrew, if you do !archive space 1, let's see if it works. Hasn't crashed. Archive 1, and if we look back at that, and thank you, Extinct Data, for that tier 1 sub. Very much appreciated. Delete everything. I can't find it. Where is it? Was that it? Yeah. So the number is 1, and now archived. Does anybody see archived? My bot test channel. Yeah, you should not be using this channel for bot testing. Insert SQL, drop all table. It's MongoDB. It's fine. Will that break it? That might break it. No. So when I was initially testing this thing, Doc did this in the chat as a joke, and it literally broke it. So I actually fixed that. All right. Let's just do some logging, because I don't know if this actually worked. Oh. It's because archived isn't false because it's not in the database. So let's do this. If question and question.archived. MongoDB is weird because there is no schema, and because you can basically not have properties. If I search for questions where archived is false, that's not going to find anything because archived is never false. It's either undefined or true. So if the question is found and it's not archived and it's not deleted at, then we'll do that. All right, save, refresh. Now, can you please try again, Andrew? Archive 1. Great. I should probably do some logging. But if we view this document, do I need to refresh? Refresh. Hello, fellow coders. What's up, Sourshock? It's not this one. Not this one, it's this one. Why is there no archived property? All right. We got to do some debugging. Archiving with the question and the message. Cool, and then we'll say actually archiving. All right. Okay, try again, Andrew. I don't create the archive. The archive field gets added at a later date whenever you attempt to archive something. Okay, again, Andrew? It's not getting detected. And thank you, Lexana, for that follow. And Blackanima, welcome for that. Thank you. Thank you for the follow. And Diodosh, thank you for that follow as well. I'm getting no logs. Oh, well, no, he asked the question with number 1, so he should be able to archive it himself. But that's an issue for checking mods for sure. It's not detecting anything. All right, it's reset. Thank you for that stretch. Bin here Empire. Maybe I'm not listening in the right channel? Thought I was. Hi. I should at least see hi. And we're not seeing that at all. Oh, that's true. It's adding it to the database. Why is this not getting logged? I am definitely listening for messages because, I mean, we can see here. Coder in black sent that message. When? A long time ago. Okay, we stopped getting messages at this point. Let's just restart it. Try again. There we go. There we go. Okay. So that didn't match. This message was archive 1. The number was 1. We say archiving with user ID that, and then this has a given user ID. Actually, oh, well, it works now. I guess I just had to restart the server. That's weird. That's really weird. But it should work. So now if I look in the DB, refresh the data. Refresh. Why is this happening? I don't see an archived property. At the bottom. Oh, there it is. There it is. It worked. Okay, it works. It works, and the server has not crashed. So let's just push it to production, right? Let's just push it to production. Who cares? I mean, I guess I care. All right, we're gonna remove that. Remove that. Question limit check as well. Yeah, why not? Server didn't crash, must work. One successful test, push it to production. That's the thing, we have fun here on this channel. Like, yes, we can do some like serious production worthy things, but also like, it's fun to just try things, right? This is my style of coding. Yeah, what Doc was mentioning is we should only allow people to ask one question. I'm not going to implement that right now. So before adding the count, the number of non-archive questions, if it's 0, deny. Well, we'd have to check this. We'd have to do this code whenever it's an idea or a question or a submission as well. We have fun here, yeah. I'll do it later, Doc. I will do it later, I promise. And thank you, Lalone. Thank you for that follow. And Ratep, thank you for that follow. The main reason I'm hesitant is because I would have to refactor this a little bit and like move this into this if statement, and I have to go. I have to go to work. Thank you for that stretch. I love typing. I mean, the code's already bad enough, right? All right, so it worked, basically. Let's run the linter. Looks good to me. Yeah, so I think somebody spammed that website and the database is full. I'll clear it up later today. Yeah, 12 errors. Yeah, we'll just we'll create a brand new website every month. All right, give me 2 seconds. I'll deploy this. Sorry. We're here. I'll deploy this, and then we'll see if it works. And the whole website could go down. But I mean, this is pretty good. This is testing in production with 200 users. This is great. It's great, right? What can go wrong? Pray to the pray to the gods. Cool. So it is deployed, and we can test it right now. So Andrew, it worked. It worked. So if anybody, it works. Yeah, look at that. First try, sort of. So if Drills now attempts to archive that question, it should disappear. Murphy's Law. If you were trying to fix an issue in production, you had to wear the sombrero and people would gather around to watch. That's pretty good. Cool. It works. Okay, I'm going to answer this question before I go, because I realize, being in the just chatting category, there's potentially a lot of people that are new to code and stuff like that. So the best place, I would say, the first place I would point you to is this thing called Free Code Camp. This is an amazing free resource where you can learn the basics and the more advanced stuff about web development from scratch, from nothing. And what I like about their website is that they provide kind of like a roadmap for you to learn about coding. So if you check out responsive web design, this will teach you the basics of HTML and CSS and responsive web design, and like layout and stuff like that. So you can use this website, and they have interactive lessons. So if I go into like basics of HTML and HTML5, there's a nice article with a description. We can go into the lesson, and then the lesson has like interactive challenges where you can put your code here and you see the output. But if you don't like these lessons, this alone is just a really good outline of what you need to learn. And you can use this as a source to find other resources. So you can be like, oh, well, I want to be able to comment in HTML. Well, if you don't like this lesson, just search the web for how to comment HTML and learn that way. But yeah, Free Code Camp is really good. So check it out. There's also the Odin project, which is very similar. It's a totally free online curriculum. And they have a lot of lessons and articles on the website itself. But really my main tip is find a lot of different resources. Like, find the one that works for you. And these are two very free ones. You can look at full stack JavaScript or front end only. Similarly, they have like a curriculum. You can archive any question. What do you mean? Like, you can archive other people's questions? You're a mod, Doc. You're allowed to archive anything you want. No, you're a mod. That's why you can do that. Are other people archive? Like, if you're not a mod, try to archive question 518 right now. It shouldn't work. Yeah, so Andrew tried to archive it, and it didn't work. Everyone, yeah, so there are some protections. It works for you because you're a mod. Cool. Okay, Free Code Camp, the Odin project. There's also Cod Academy, and then really, like, YouTube is an amazing resource. So you can search for really anything and find a nice lesson on it. I mean, you can look at my YouTube channel. You don't have to, but you can. And there's a ton of great resources on there as well. So that's the place. That's, I think, the best place to go. But like I said, there's not just one good resource. There's a million different resources. Find the one that works best for you. So yeah. Oh, and this is an easy one too. On YouTube, I have this extension called, what is it called? Is it here? No, it's not here. Is it here? No, it's not here. Here? I forget what it's called. Oh yeah, and if you are totally new, and you want to learn from me, thank you for the resub, this guy. Thanks for being here. Yeah, if you want to learn from me, go to coding.garden/videos, and there's a few filters up here. So setting up a Mac shows you how I set up my computer to be able to work on web development. If you're new to Git and GitHub, this is a stream I did with a friend who knew nothing about Git, and I taught him the basics. If you look at the Newbie Tuesday videos or the Noob Quest videos, these are all targeted at beginners. So yeah, you can check this out. All right, I gotta go. Thank you all. And I'll find the extension before I go, because I'll answer that one. YouTube. What is it called? Like advanced YouTube? Enhancer for YouTube. This is the one. This is the plugin I'm using to change the color on YouTube. That one. Okay. Thank you all for being here. This number sort of went down. That number went down by like 7. We might raid She. I'll let you know. So this right here, the pixel house that I'm in, this animation and the pixels were created by She.mo. And thank you for being here, the She Boss. And we got some follows. I appreciate you all. Thank you, Prastolodin, Spiegel, Drakus, and the Art. Thank you all for being here. And there are a couple of redemptions. No hydrate, but I'm gonna hydrate myself. Thank you for that stretch, you. And the Art has redeemed a posture check. So thanks for being here. The next stream is planned for Wednesday. However, my internet is being fixed on Wednesday. Thank you for the hydrates, everyone. My internet's being fixed on Wednesday, so it's possible that I won't be able to stream on Wednesday. We'll see. Keep an eye on the channel. If you follow me on Twitter or you join the Discord, I always send a message there whenever I go live. So yeah. Yeah, and those are the raid messages. Click this link and you'll get a link to the raid messages. If you are a sub, that's your raid message. But if you're not a sub, this is your raid message, which is, we've said it before, arguably as good, if not better, the non-sub message. We'll find someone to raid. Be sure to share the love, stay nice, all that good stuff. And yeah, wherever you are in the world, have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night. And until next time, here is this.